What's up, everybody? So I'm jumping back on the saddle of coding, getting back into coding mode after the holiday season, and just want to share this video about LLAMA-Deepseeker coder. And it actually came about while I was reading this tweet from Julian Goldie SEO. He does a great job of actually creating content that improves SEO for more leads for his own SEO agency. So really great strategy, one to pay attention to. So I was having a look through his video, and then I decided to go try out Llama Coder myself. Went here, and I noticed that it is very similar to the setup for Bolt.new. And I remember in his tweet, he actually said that Llama Coder was a Bolt.new killer. Now, it's a great, catchy headline, but interestingly, when I went to try it out, I actually came across some issues on the first run. So this is a prompt that I put in, which is related to an accountability group that I have on X, which is called XGSD. And if you go and look hashtag XGSD4, you'll see all of the tweets that this group is putting out. And so I was looking at, hey, maybe we could use some of these coders, right, to create an accountability app specifically for the group. And so this was my one-shot prompt attempt. And when I did that, unfortunately, I got these errors on the side. Now, this is something that I have discovered in the past, which is quite common for a lot of the AI code editors. So this doesn't happen all the time. AI is still being developed, it's still evolving, right? And so there are often times where this occurs. Other times you may not have any issues at all. So, one of the reasons why I like Bolt is that actually when you try one-shot prompt attempts, you more often than not don't get these issues. And even if you do, there's a simple button that you can just click on to say fix errors. And you'll notice here that with this, there was no fix error button. You still have to type it in. And if this is happening often, then actually the typing aspect just adds to the cognitive barriers, right, to building or wanting to build with a code editor. So it's not the end of the world, but as someone who has been doing a lot of coding, as many others in this space have been doing as well, it is an issue that you are willing to pay for or pay more for with a tool like Bolt.new. So, I went ahead though, despite the initial issues, and attempted to continue fixing the errors so that I could actually get something that was usable and workable. So all these different versions you see here on the lower right are the attempts, essentially, right? So finally, by version 3, so this is attempt number 3, I was able to get an app. Now, I'm going to put here as an example, right, of a tweet. And so it says 1 day's completed. But, I wanted to add something else so that I could see where the tweets were being stored, right? So I'm thinking about this from a user standpoint. So I'm just going to put that in there. And now there is an option here or a drop down where you can see the tweet. I can reset it, right? But then I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, I probably want some more details. Like I want to maybe store my name, username, maybe even timestamp. So that's when we move into version 5. So you start to see here. Okay. And yeah, let's try. Hi, submit. Yes. But there's some issues here, right? These are logic issues. So I put in 2 tweets, but it's saying 2 days completed. This is where you will want to then add, I think I need a way for the platform to know that it is the current day that I'm adding tweets for, or have an option to add a date selector so that when you're putting in a tweet, you can change the date if you want. This is something that you'll learn when building tools with AI, is that it's actually usually a lot better to build on top of, like scaffolding, versus trying to one-shot prompt everything. There's a lot of tips for creating, these massive prompts up front where you go and create your product requirement doc. Still important, not saying that it's not, but there is a way that you can also do this, especially if you're starting out, where you can learn the ins and outs of how AI is doing things by just building on top of as you're going through and you're realizing yourself as a user, oh, this bit doesn't make sense. I should probably have this. Then you add it. And then later on, you can actually then ask the AI code editor or the AI to share back to you a summary of what it is you eventually get to. Then that could be used as your product requirement doc, or it could be used as part of your one-shot prompt attempt in another file or another instance of the project. Again, this is for folks who may be inexperienced with building products or aren't software engineers. It allows you to build up, kind of iron the kinks yourself and work through the logic visually, then try to create the document. Because I think the problem is when you go through the document aspect first, if you haven't done this stuff before, it doesn't make sense because you don't know what you don't know, right? And so doing this is more of an experiential process that allows you to do what you need to, so that you can look, see, and feel any frustration that you might have as a user, right? This is sort of user experience design, but on the fly. And then as you get better and better, of course, you'll know more up here to be able to implement into a strategy doc or a product requirement doc, also known as a PRD. Okay, so, right. I had mentioned before about the having a way to enter your name or username. And so this, the Llama Coder added a button in the top right here, but it put in a pencil icon. So it looks more like an edit thing. This wasn't necessarily what I wanted. I wanted a way to like enter profile details. So then I think I put some more prompts in. And then, yep, it changed the icon, but still nothing happened. And you can see here, no modal pop-ups when I clicked on the profiling editor, right? So did that again. Go back down. Okay. And then you notice here, still nothing happens, right? And this is a common issue you will have when trying to build apps using these AI coding tools. And so essentially, at this point, you really just need to work through this stuff, right? You just need to keep talking to the AI coder. Hey, why isn't this working? Please help me fix it. Get more specific with the prompts that you put in until you get what you want. I think when looking at what Julian Goldie was talking about, using Llama Coder, you can do a lot for free, essentially up front, instead of paying for tokens in other tools like Bolt.new. So on that front, I actually agree with him that it might be better or good to use something like LLAMA-Deepseek Coder for the initial build attempt, for understanding your own structure, understanding the app, and not wasting money in some of these more advanced tools like Bolt.new. Bolt.new is great because, again, it handles errors a lot better than other AI coding tools, in my opinion. There are other options like Lovable Dev, Lovable.dev, of course, Windsurf, Cursor, etc. But, after you try all these tools, you need to just kind of find the one that works the best for you and stick to that for about a month. Because if I look at the rate of change in the AI space, every month something new comes out or one of the old products actually gets a huge upgrade and becomes better. And at the moment, a lot of us are just kind of bouncing back and forth. But I think if you stick to one that is working for you better and, just really go deep in that, and you'll find that you'll be able to still get a lot done and you'll understand the fundamentals. I think this is the aspect that is really important here, is learning the fundamentals. I think some folks have already been talking about how this period in sort of AI building is very similar to what the birth of the commercial internet in the 90s or late 90s, early 2000s felt like. So that's why it's very exciting. There are no clear winners at this point. And so it's a good time to really get going at sort of the ground level of things. So yeah, this is Llama Coder. This was my attempt at using Llama Coder. I'm still a fan of Bolt.new, but I think it's still good to test all these things out to see if there are improvements, if it's better, if it works into your own tech stack or workflow. So with that, hope this was useful. Feel free to try Llama Coder out at llamacoder.together.ai, and I'll see you on the next video.